or whatever announcements we might have. So I need to explain myself. Part of the reason I forget to do the announcements at the proper time is that for probably the last decade, I always do them at the end. I always felt that offertory kind of breaks the rhythm of the service, and so I've gotten so used to doing them at the end that I forget to do them at correct time, if there is such a thing. So, announcements. Anyone in the congregation? Well, this is like shocking. So, if I keep doing the announcements at the end, there won't be any announcements. So, just a reminder, Tuesday is Election Day, and I will be holding us in prayer. We will do vigil, so I'm inviting you to sign up for a half-hour chunk of time. The evening is really critical because my wife works the polls, and we have two 3-year-old golden retrievers that can't be confined forever. So I need to go home at my normal time, which is around 3:30. So we want to make sure that someone will lock up and that someone will be here for the evening. So if you can sign up for half-hour slots so that we're covered. At noon, I will celebrate the Eucharist. Relatively short, about a 30-minute, maybe 40-minute service, but a very, very short service. The theme for that Eucharist is the Propers for Peace, and there will be prayers available that are appropriate for Election Day for you to use if you need prayers, or if you just want to sit here and quietly and pray, that's fine. I'm also a firm believer that I take my baptismal covenant with me to the polling booth. Part of my sense of being marinated in baptismal faith is I can't just leave my faith at the doors of the church and pretend that it doesn't matter. It does. And I look for, beyond party, I look for candidates that reflect both baptismal values, particularly the promise we just made, to seek and serve Christ by loving our neighbor as ourselves, and to strive for justice and peace, respecting the dignity of every human being. I use that as my litmus test for candidates. Those who reflect those values, reflect baptismal values, are going to get my support. Those that do not are not going to get my support. That's just me. But I do think that we take our commitment to Christ and to Christ as Lord. I mean, we just reaffirmed our renunciation of evil and our pledge to follow Christ as Lord. You can't have more than one Lord. It's either Christ or it's going to be something else. So remember that as you go to the polls. I live in a swing state. We have been inundated with political ads, and they have gotten darker and more negative as we got closer. So I will thank God that we'll have a break after Tuesday of no more ads for, what was it, 3 weeks now? I mean, it's kind of like Christmas, it begins in October. But it's nerve-wracking. It really is. And I think it just adds to the level of stress. So I feel stressed out. If you don't feel stressed out, thanks be to God. I feel stressed out. And so part of opening the church is to have a safe sanctuary in the midst of all the noise, to center ourselves on Christ. So join me at noon if you can for the Eucharist. Stop by for a chunk of time to be in vigil. And then keep praying, because we're not going to know the answer on Election Day. Just preparing myself for a close election, and we'll know at some point. Maybe it'll be resolved, maybe not. We just live in crazy times, folks. We live in crazy, crazy times, and all the norms and expectations that I grew up with, at least, seem to have been thrown out the window. So, who knows?